Hi, I'm Jeff Johnson, and this is The Takeaway. This is The Takeaway, recorded July 3rd, 2016, Independence Day weekend. Hey folks, there's a few things in life where you just feel totally free. Now, I'm not allowed to drive a motorcycle. My wife says I can't. So what I do to compensate for not having that free feeling of the wind through my hair and all that kind of stuff is I get in the pool and I kind of pencil and I go to the bottom and then I push off from the bottom and I come flying out of the water and I kind of like whee and the whole thing and go back down and everything else. And I know it sounds silly. That's a little kid thing to do, but I did it again yesterday just for fun. And you know what? There's no better feeling than that idea of feeling free. Truth of the matter is, freedom is not only a wonderful idea, and it's a wonderful thing that we get to celebrate in our nation, but the thing about freedom is it's way more complex than we think. There is way more ironic twists and understanding that needs to go in than just this idea of just do whatever you want. See, just doing whatever you want is not freedom. Truthfully, that's just anarchy. So as we celebrate daily this idea of freedom, I think it's best that we accept the responsibility that comes with it. See, as we believe that everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. You see, the Corinthian church had trouble. They thought this whole idea is, hey, we can do everything. And they did. They had some crazy sin going on and all kinds of stuff, but the fact of the matter is, Paul had to rein him in. There's probably no better writer, not only through Scripture, but through time, who really understood freedom as well as Paul did. He come from a very legalistic, very rule-oriented system, and then he found Christ. And when he found Christ, he discovered what true freedom was all about. And what is so amazing about that is that he said, listen, this is something that you learn over a lifetime. This is something you learn as a process. I continue to learn this. I continue to move forward. And so even as a believer today, we have to recognize that there are things that we get to learn as we continue to grow, as we continue to mature, and as we continue to walk forward in our relationship with Jesus. Truthfully, freedom is something that sometimes we want to cheat on. But I would never let my kids, for instance, just run into the pool if they didn't have swimming lessons or know how to swim. So you see, freedom sometimes is taking responsibility. That's what Jesus said, and knowing the truth. And so when I can begin to see the possibilities and the parameters, then I have an opportunity to exercise wisdom. And so when you exercise wisdom, that which comes from God, then we begin to understand what true freedom is. And as believers, or as folks that maybe are just trying to figure out what they're doing in life, I got to tell you that freedom is not just that opportunity to do what you want and then to ask forgiveness. You see, that just puts you right back into bondage. But freedom really comes when you say, okay, God, I am going to just live as doulos. You see, Paul talked about this idea of being a slave. And that, again, when you talk about that in regards to freedom, seems like a juxtaposition. But it's not. Because Paul realized that as doulos is one that has no voluntary rights on his own, that he was completely surrendered to God, then God would lead them into the way of greatness and lead them into the way of big and into those expansive territories and everything else. And that's exactly it. David talks about how that even in the presence of his enemies, the Lord sets a table before him. So it doesn't matter what's going on around you. Freedom can happen because you're holding on to the truth. Despite what you're seeing physically, God's freedom can live in our lives and prosper us, move us forward, because he knows how to make freedom true in our lives. Not what the world pushes in regards to freedom, but what God says is true freedom. And so as we celebrate Independence Day and we have fireworks tomorrow and barbecues and everything else, let's remember that we can't separate physical freedom from spiritual freedom. The two go together. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in this week. And do me a favor. Would you absolutely share this? Let's get this out. We're looking to have over 2,000 views here this next week, and you're part of that by sharing it. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.